Hello, this is Mark from I Am Organic Gardening, and today we're going to be planting up strawberries. I'm going to show you how to plant up strawberries that will produce and last forever. So I received this shipment the other day. These are strawberry plugs. They're grown originally from seeds that were started in a greenhouse, a certified organic greenhouse, over 15 weeks ago, and has been monitored and recorded through the USDA to make sure that everything's correct. I'm a certified organic grower, so I have to use certified organic products when I plant them up. So let's take a look. So inside the box contains two trays or two flats. Each flat has 125 plants each on it, and there's two different varieties. Here's our first one, and here's our second one. So here's a better picture of the plug that they sent me, and you can see that there's 3 plants in here. Now what's nice is when this is grown from seed here, this is going to be your crown in the future right here from my fingertip up. And that's if you planted bare root strawberries, you would plant it from just the same way it's growing here. You would plant it from the crown up. You just have that crown pretty much at soil level. Because if you plant that crown too much below soil level, the plant will not do well. And we want those strawberry plants to last forever. Now, just like every other strawberry plant out there, these plants will eventually die off, but they'll be sending runners out that will reroot in the ground. So I want that raised bed of mine to be healthy and growing soil all the time. So here's my raised bed. They're 7 feet wide and 80 feet long. Now, I chose to make them this wide because I want them to continue to grow and reproduce themselves. And I'm not limited on space. If you have a smaller area, then you're limited on space, but you can still do the same thing. It's amount of spacing that's going to help you in the future if you don't plant it too densely to begin with. So by building this current raised bed in front of me, which I just did about 3 weeks ago before we got a winter storm in again, I have injured the soil, so I want it to come alive again. So I'm going to add those 3 different types of seeds, and I'll show you that right now. So here we have the 3 types of seeds I'm going to be using for my living cover that's going to be growing my soil along with the strawberry plants. We have New Zealand white clover, and that produces 1 taproot that can go down 40 inches into the soil. And we're going to use 80% of this in our mix. Next is summer alfalfa that has many taproots that can go 4 to 6 feet deep into the soil. But again, please check your planting zone in your area if you can use this. And we're only going to use 10% of that in the mix. And the last is our ryegrass. Sometimes they call it annual ryegrass, and those roots can go anywhere from 2 to 7 feet down in the soil, but have lots of very fine roots that can spread out and aerate that soil and grow soil for us. Follow the instructions on the bag, how deep to plant them. Now when we plant our strawberry plants in with this, everything grows as one solid green mat. Now the ones in the back, they will grow a foot tall, but they will not shade out your strawberry plants. For the simple reason is most of this has very weak stems and will fall down. The strawberry plants will be strong enough and come to the surface. Now, with all this living green, you have a mat where the blue mat is here. You have this mat of green, so when the strawberries grow, which is nice and red, is going to stand out so you can see them, they're not going to be hitting the soil, and they're going to be sitting on top of that green mat here, just like in nature. Now, if you're concerned about weeds growing in here, in the beginning there might be, but as soon as this takes over, there's going to be less and less weeds over the years. Now, what's nice about this, with all this living cover in here, you're bringing in nature's predators. And what they do, if there's weed seeds that come in there, they eat the weed seeds, the predators, meaning the ladybugs and all the bugs that you see in the soil, they will devour those weed seeds. So just like in nature, what it's doing is capturing sunlight. Sunlight is going down through the plant, And now that plant is going to exude sugars and proteins, feeding the soil and the microorganisms. And also that sunlight is going to be brought down, feeding the soil liquid carbon. So let's go over some of the basics that our strawberry plants need. First, we'll start off with sunlight. Now, they need anywhere from 6 to 10 hours a day. Number 2 is watering. Watering, they need at least 1 to 2 inches of rain a week, or watering. Now, since we're going to be growing soil, we don't have to use as much water as somebody that uses a raised bed that's just formed with none of these other things growing in there. You'll see a lot of farmers grow these with black plastic, and they have to water a lot and a lot and a lot. But with all this going on, that's going to be retaining our water in the ground, because we're going to be growing roots in the soil, opening up those pores and able to store more water in the soil. Now, when it comes to pH, everybody is concerned about that. I've never checked it on my own farm. It's a preference, but I'm learning over my research and over time on my farm. I've never added anything. I don't believe in adding lime. But what I'm finding out is that the soil pH is controlled by the plant using all that soil food web right next to the root. So if you test out here, it's going to be different from there. And you have to test right next to that root, because the plant is going to control its own pH, not all the way out here, but right next to the plant, because that's where it needs it the most. It's not concerned out here, and even if the roots are out here, it's going to be concerned more about the main roots around the main plant. Spacing of the plants depends on your goal. If you want a lot of product in a very small space, you should plant your strawberries at least a minimum of 1 foot apart. Now, they say you should do that in rows, but in this raised bed, since you can access it easily, you can go 1 foot on center with the strawberry plants. Now, I'm going to go a lot further apart because I have the room. So I lightly rake the surface, apply those seeds, and now I'm going to plant my strawberry plugs. So planting of a plug or bare root, because this is the top of the crown, you want it even with the surface, is so simple. Because basically, it's just a simple pulling back of the soil, placing it in, pushing it to one side firmly, and then pushing the soil back around it. And then when you go back, you just want to look that the crown or the plug surface is even with the surface of the soil that's around it. Then after we're done with this, we should water them in, and then it's going to soak down. So if you have a chance, go back in the next several days and make sure that it didn't sink down the soil too far. If you want to, you can pull it back up again. It's not going to hurt it. It hasn't rooted completely yet in the ground. So here's the beginning of my raised bed. As you can see, they're not evenly spaced, but the best thing about strawberries, you don't have to make it a science to get it every single one a square foot apart, because they are going to send out runners. Some are going to die off, but hopefully not, but they are going to spread. So it doesn't matter what pattern you have. I kind of did a zigzag pattern, or you can do a straight line, whatever it is. They all are going to mature and spread out across the top of the surface. I want to thank you very much for watching this video today and taking time out of your day to do so. I'm going to finish up. It's getting very cloudy. We're expected at least an inch and a half of rain in the next several hours. So I'm going to try to get everything planted, and I'll see you shortly. Thanks.